I'm Melly O'Brien. I'm the host of the Deep Resilience podcast. And in this podcast, I'm going to be sharing with you the right tools, skills, and insights that you need to stay mentally strong, no matter what life is throwing your way right now. I'm here to support you, coach you, and comfort you as you navigate through the hard times of your life. I'm going to be talking today in this episode about depersonalisation and why it's really, really important that you keep an eye out for this particular unhelpful mental habit, because the impacts that it can have are pretty significant. And it's one of those things that can kind of creep in without you even realizing you're doing it. I catch myself, and this is something that I really keep an eye on in myself. And if I catch any of this in the language with anyone that I'm working with, whether it's in a group setting or an individual setting, I'll always take a pause and really work with this. So let's just start with, what is personalisation? So in its essence, personalisation is what they call a cognitive distortion, in which a person will kind of blame themselves for something or take something very personally to mean something about who they are in a way that is disproportionate to what actually happened. So, for example, let me just give you a couple of different examples here. So let's just say you get a math problem wrong. Saying to yourself, okay, I got that math problem wrong, is really different to saying I'm bad at maths. Okay, if something goes wrong in your business, let's just say you launch something, a new product in your business, and you really were quite strategic about it, but you got something wrong. You know, the strategy didn't work. Okay, admitting that that launch strategy didn't work is really different to saying to yourself, I'm just really bad at business. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's say you were dating someone and you thought it was going well, but then it ended. Okay, so saying, oh gosh, that didn't go the way that I hoped it would go, is really different to just saying, I'm just not attractive, I'm never going to find anyone. So we don't want to conflate what happened with who we are. Can you see the difference? If a family moves to a new town and then a child experiences difficulty making new friends and the parent blames themselves for that situation, again, that's personalisation. So personalisation often lacks objectivity. If we could slow things down and just back it up a little bit and just look at the situation much more objectively, we would realise that it's not about what happened. If an unfortunate thing happened, it doesn't mean that who we are is the reason for that, right? So bad thing happened versus I'm bad. That's the difference. Now, personalisation can really increase negative thoughts, lower self-esteem. It can cause social anxiety disorder. It's associated with also depression. It's important to tease apart the difference between, something went wrong. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Now, this applies even if you did something that you feel was morally wrong. Another way of saying that is just it was out of alignment with your values. Okay, that doesn't mean you are a jerk. You are a bad person. So we want to tease apart actions from your identity. I did something bad is very, very different to I am the thing that's bad. I did something bad can actually be very, very constructive. So if you're thinking thoughts like, I did something bad, I did something that doesn't feel good to me, then the emotion that usually arises with that is what we would call guilt. Now, guilt is not a pleasant emotion by any stretch of the imagination. However, it is an emotion that can be really instructive in that if you're feeling guilt, then you can work with guilt. You can examine, okay, what happened here that feels out of alignment? Why did I do that? And that's something that you can do really honestly and gently, looking at it and admitting to yourself, okay, this is where I was out of alignment. I'm not proud of this. And then you can also consider what actions you might like to take to make amends. It might be just a commitment to yourself. Okay, from now on, never again. Or from now on, I'm committing to these kinds of values. Or I'm going to go and make amends in these ways. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to fix the report. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make things better, to take positive action. So by first separating your actions from your identity, then you can work with the guilt in a really positive way, right? You can take the lesson, you can take positive action if possible, and you can move on. So guilt can be instructive. And by the way, guilt can then be like a catalyst for wisdom, for personal growth, for you becoming a more authentic, empowered and aligned human being. So, that can be a really beautiful thing. If there's a compass pointing true north and true north is where you want to go, every now and then we take a little pendulum swing off true north and we get some feedback in the form of guilt, right? And we go, okay, let me take that back to true north. Then it happens again. Let me take it back to true north. And what tends to happen for a lot of people is as we get older, we get better at that. We learn from experience and we're more and more authentic. We live more in empowerment, agency, and alignment. Now, with personalization, when you're the thing that's wrong, if you just say, not that I did the math problem wrong, but I'm bad at maths, one of the things that does is it causes disempowerment. Like you're not going to try again, right? Just because, why would you? Because you're just bad at maths. So this can cause people to give up on their dreams and goals, feel a lot of shame, feel totally disempowered and unable to move forward with the things that matter to them. My business project didn't work. My launch didn't work. That's very different to I'm just too stupid to do business, right? It's very different to say that dating period didn't go well, then I'm just not attractive and no one's ever going to love me ever again. Okay. So first of all, it's disempowering. The second thing is it causes a lot of shame. Right? It stifles our potential, disempowers us and causes us a lot of shame. So shame is different to guilt. There's nothing really instructive about shame because if you're the thing that's wrong, there's nothing to do, right? You're just broken or wrong or a jerk. So it's really important to practice depersonalizing things in two different ways. I'll just simplify it here. The first thing is to take an objective approach. If you find yourself having any inner self-talk or out loud talk where you are personalizing things, then just take a pause and try to consider it from lots of different angles. Is it really true? Ask yourself the question, is it really fundamentally true that I am just bad at maths? Is it? Because I think anyone that did a lot of practice at math could get a lot better at it and to do enough math to do what you need to do. If you're thinking just you are not attractive, is it really true? Is that really true? Like 100% of all the people in the entire world, no one would find you attractive. It's highly unlikely, right? So just be careful, take a more objective standpoint and just focus on the facts, not the stories, right? The fact is, I did the math problem wrong, right? I didn't get it correct. I didn't pass the test. That's just the fact. So stick with the fact, not the story. And the second thing you want to do is tease apart guilt from shame. Remember, guilt can be a really instructive and actually a really empowering emotion that can kickstart a virtuous upward spiral of empowerment and authenticity and wisdom and personal growth. So tease apart what you did from who you are. They're not the same thing. If you just look at what you did that you don't feel good about, then you can work with guilt. Remember, take the lesson, learn from the lesson, acknowledge it, be honest with yourself, see if there's any empowered action that you could take to make things better, and just go ahead and take those actions. Take the lesson. If it's something you can do, do it. And then let that fuel your personal growth. And you can just let it go, knowing that you've taken the lesson, you're growing in wisdom, you're committing to doing better next time, and you can move forward with your life. So the next time you find yourself personalizing something, just remember that having had something go wrong or having done something wrong doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Even if you did something wrong out of alignment with your values, you separate your actions from your identity and move forward with more strength, wisdom, and empowerment. I hope this is helpful for you. This is your practice for the week ahead, to practice depersonalising and just see what effects it has on your body, on your mind, and in your life. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Deep Resilience podcast. If you know someone who you think might benefit from listening to this episode, share it with them. Sharing it could really help them to feel better and improve the quality of their life. And if you found this episode helpful, remember to subscribe to this podcast so that you can receive more tips on growing your inner strength, and keep practicing along with us every week. And if you'd like some more support in becoming mentally, emotionally, and spiritually stronger, come check out the offerings I have to support you on my website at melieobrien.com. As well as coaching and course options, I also have a bunch of free resources for you, including a free Deep Resilience care package, which you can begin to use right away to get some immediate relief from stress and suffering, improve your resilience and mental well-being, and help you navigate whatever you're going through with more wisdom, skill, and confidence. You can find the links for all of that in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care and stay strong.